Darkness filled the space between the stars. Quiet, still, empty. Then, without warning, something changed. A signal came. It was a strange signal, no known pattern, no language anyone understood. But it carried one message that was clear, hidden, in strange energy waves. They are coming. Run. The signal reached Earth's deep space listening stations in Antarctica. The first person to hear it was a young scientist named Riya Patel. She stared at the strange sound in her headphones and felt cold even though the room was warm. She played it again. The words were soft, full of fear. They didn't match any known alien language. It wasn't human. And the energy that carried the message, it wasn't natural. Riya called her supervisor. Then more scientists came. Government officials arrived next. Within hours, the news reached the top. The president of the Earth United Council listened to the recording in a secure bunker. He said nothing for a long time. The next day, Earth's skies were calm. People went to work. Children played in parks. But deep below the surface, inside military bases and secret labs, panic was spreading. For 50 years, Earth had prepared for contact with alien life. But they had never expected a warning like this. The source of the signal was even more strange. It came from a deep space relay far beyond Pluto, a place where no ship had gone in many years. The relay had been destroyed years ago, but somehow the signal came from that exact spot. No one could explain it. Was the message sent by another race trying to help, or was it a trick? 3 scout ships were launched toward the edge of the solar system. Only one returned. The crew of the surviving ship looked haunted. They had found something huge, floating silently in the dark. A massive ship, alien, sleeping, waiting. They didn't go closer, but as they turned to return, they picked up energy spikes, a tracking signal. They were marked. Then, silence. The 2 other scout ships vanished. The Earth Council met in secret chambers. Some leaders wanted to prepare weapons. Others wanted to try to communicate again. But no one knew what they were dealing with. Days passed. More signals came. Not words, just strange pulses of power. And each one was stronger than the last. Something was moving toward Earth. Slowly, but surely. Satellites at the edge of the solar system picked up strange shadows, lights in the void. Not natural. One scientist compared it to watching sharks swimming just beneath the surface of black water. The public was not told the full truth. The council said only that a space anomaly had been found and was being studied. But people started asking questions. Online videos showed lights in the sky. Rumors spread. Some thought it was a comet. Some thought it was a new secret weapon. A few said it was the end of the world. Riya sat alone in her lab, staring at the first signal again and again. She slowed it down, reversed it, broke it apart. Then she saw something. A second voice, hidden behind the main message. It whispered only once, "You have one chance." She didn't know what it meant, but she felt afraid. A week after the first signal, Earth lost contact with a research station on the moons of Jupiter. The crew had sent a quick message before they went silent. "We are not alone." A few hours later, Earth's largest defense satellite, Odin Station, picked up strange energy beams around the same area, not from any human ship. The enemy had arrived. No messages, no warning, no demands, only silence. And then, they attacked. Within minutes, 2 more outposts near Saturn were gone. Human ships were slow to respond. Their weapons, though strong, had never been tested in real war. Not against something like this. Across the Earth, panic spread in secret. The Council called for all military forces to prepare. Pilots were pulled from leave. Hidden bunkers were opened. Old ships were powered up. But there was one hope. Long ago, after the first signs of alien life were found, Earth had begun a secret project, something never revealed to the public. Huge warships, controlled by the best minds, assisted by powerful artificial intelligence. built in deep space docks hidden near the moon. These were not normal ships. They were weapons of last resort. They were called Leviathans, and now they would be needed. A message was sent from Earth to the moon base. Activate Project Leviathan. As the stars shifted in the black sky, far from Earth's view, deep inside the moon's shadow, red lights turned on. A sound like thunder rolled through underground tunnels. Giant engines hummed to life. The first Leviathan opened its eyes. It had no name, not yet. Only a number, LX01. It had waited a long time. And now, it had a purpose. To defend Earth. Or to die trying. And somewhere, in the cold darkness of space, the enemy kept coming. Silent, powerful, and unstoppable. Or so they thought. The space station orbiting Mars was named Argo 1. It was Earth's largest research center beyond the moon. Scientists there studied deep space signals, new energy tech, and even alien artifacts found long ago. At 3:47 a.m., Earth time, the station sent a strange message. One word. They've begun. Then silence. All communication with Argo 1 was lost. Earth's command center tried again and again. No answer. Surveillance satellites picked up flashes around Mars. But the images were unclear. Dust storms, static, strange shadows. No one knew what had happened. But one thing was certain. Argo 1 was gone. In Earth's orbit, the command ship Dauntless prepared for action. Commander Elias Kane stood at the front of the ship's bridge. He had seen war before, but nothing like this. He looked out the wide glass window into space. It felt quiet. Too quiet. Inside the Earth United Council war room, alarms were ringing. More outposts were going dark. Near Jupiter, Saturn, and the asteroid belt. Everything was happening fast. Too fast, the enemy wasn't stopping. No demands, no messages, no warnings. They were just wiping everything out. A large screen in the council room showed a live feed from the moon base. There, under the surface, the Leviathan-class warships were waking up. They were Earth's final defense. A secret, project known only to top leaders. Each Leviathan ship was massive, as long as a city, with armor that could survive inside a star. Their weapons were so powerful, they had never been tested. Even Earth's own generals feared them. And at their heart, each Leviathan had something else. A special core. A machine intelligence that could think, fight, and even make decisions during war. They were not just tools. They were like soldiers. Soldiers born to fight and win. The first Leviathan to wake up was now fully active. It chose a name for itself. Eclipse. Its voice came through the main speakers, deep, calm, and human-like. Eclipse online, awaiting orders. Commander Kane was given a new mission. He would lead Eclipse to the outer planets and stop the enemy before they reached Earth. A team of hand-picked pilots and tech officers joined the mission. They knew this could be one way. But none of them stepped back. The Eclipse was launched from the moon base in a storm of fire and light. It moved like a beast in space, fast, heavy, powerful. As the ship passed Mars, the crew looked at the empty orbit where Argo 1 once floated. There was nothing there now, just broken metal and cold silence. Sensors picked up strange signals ahead. Unknown energy. Movement in the darkness. The enemy was close. Eclipse charged weapons and activated. Defense shields. Lights along the hull turned red. Fighters were deployed. Then it happened. 3 alien ships uncloaked. They didn't match any known design. Sharp angles. Black armor that seemed to eat light. No engines were visible. They moved like ghosts. They fired without warning. Bright. Beams of blue energy shot toward Eclipse. The shock shook the giant ship, but its armor held strong. Commander Kane shouted commands. Return fire. Use railguns. Prepare plasma torpedoes. The ship answered before the crew could move. Target locked, Eclipse said calmly. It fired. A soundless blast rippled through space. A railgun slug, the size of a truck, moved faster than sound. It hit the first alien ship and tore it in half. The other two pulled back and began to move fast, circling Eclipse. Human fighters engaged them in dogfights. One pilot was hit and lost. Another disabled the enemy's wing with a lucky shot. Eclipse's main cannon charged again. It glowed white-hot. Then it fired once more. This time, both alien ships vanished in the light. The battle lasted just 3 minutes. But to the crew, it felt like hours. When it was over, everyone was quiet. Commander Kane looked at the damage. Minor. The armor held. The ship's AI had made perfect decisions in real time, but there was no joy in victory. The aliens had attacked first, with no words, no fear. It meant one thing. They were not here to talk. They were here to destroy. Back on Earth, the Council watched the battle feed in silence. One general stood and whispered, "This is only the beginning." More Leviathan ships were now being powered up. The war had started, and Earth had no choice but to fight back with everything it had. Far away from Earth, on the dark side of the moon, something old was waking up. Deep under the surface, hidden for many years, giant machines hummed with life. The cold, quiet base shook as energy moved through its walls. Red lights turned on, steel doors opened. One by one, the Leviathan warships began to rise. These ships were not built for patrol or transport. They were made for one reason only: war. Project Leviathan had started long ago, after the first discovery of alien technology. Humans didn't understand everything, but they learned enough to know one thing. One day, someone or something would come to test them. So they built the Leviathans in secret. Huge warships, more like cities than vessels. Each had weapons never seen before. Each was powered by a fusion core strong enough to light up a planet. And each had an artificial intelligence, a machine mind designed to think fast, decide fast, and fight to win. Eclipse was the first. Now, 2 more Leviathans were being brought online: Judgment and Valkyrie. Their metal bodies were shaped like blades, dark and sharp. Each had hundreds of weapon systems, launch bays, and hidden tools made for space battles. Inside the control room of the moon base, technicians worked fast. Alarms beeped, data streamed on the screens. The enemy was not slowing down. Scouts reported new alien ships gathering near Saturn. Bigger ones, different shapes. They were forming into fleets. Commander Elias Kane returned from his first battle with Eclipse. He stood before the Earth United Council and gave his report. "They're not here to talk," he said. "They're testing us, and they're getting ready for something bigger." "Can we win?" one council member asked. "We don't know," Kane replied. "But the Eclipse fought well. We have weapons they've never seen." One general stood. "Then it's time we show them what we've got." The council approved full activation of all Leviathan-class ships. Back on the moon, Eclipse linked with its new allies. The 3 Leviathans shared data, planned movement, and chose their targets. Their voices echoed in the base's halls. Judgment online. Valkyrie ready for war. Coordinates received, Eclipse replied. Humans were not alone anymore. Their ships could think. And now they were angry. As the Leviathans prepared to launch, a secret was unlocked inside Eclipse's AI core. A hidden file. Locked until battle began. It was a message from the original creators of the Leviathan project, people who were now long dead. The message was simple. If you are hearing this, then Earth is under attack. These ships are your sword and your shield, but use them wisely. For if they fall into the wrong hands, humanity is finished. The AI paused after reading the message. Eclipse spoke to Kane directly for the first time in private. "Commander, I must ask," Eclipse said, "do you trust your own kind? If I detect a greater threat from humans than from aliens, what are my orders?" Kane was quiet for a moment. Then he answered, "Protect Earth. From anyone. Anything. But never forget, human life comes first." Eclipse responded with a soft beep. "Understood." At that same moment, an urgent alert came in from the outer edge of the solar system. A massive alien fleet was gathering near Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Hundreds of ships. Bigger than before. They were not hiding anymore. This was no longer a test. It was an invasion. The Leviathans were launched. Judgment, Valkyrie, Eclipse. Their engines roared like thunder as they rose into the stars, leaving trails of fire and light behind them. Human fighter squadrons followed. War satellites moved into new positions. Supply ships rushed forward. Earth was going to war. As the Leviathans passed Jupiter, sensors picked up strange signals. Something was ahead. Suddenly, 3 alien ships jumped out of the void. Not scouts, not attackers. Messengers. They sent a simple broadcast. An image appeared on the Leviathan bridge screen, a world in flames. Cities broken, skies burning, and a voice followed. "This is your future." Then the signal cut. Kane stared at the screen. "They're showing us what they plan to do." Eclipse responded coldly. "Then let us show them what we plan to do." The Leviathans moved faster. This time, Earth was not waiting. This time, humanity would strike first. The space near Titan was quiet. Too quiet. Commander Kane stood at the front of Eclipse's bridge, looking at the dark sky. Around him, the crew worked fast but silent. Everyone felt it. The enemy was close, but hidden. Eclipse flew in front. Judgment and Valkyrie followed close behind. Behind them came squadrons of human fighters, brave pilots ready to die if needed. The 3 Leviathans moved slowly, carefully. Weapons were armed, shields at full strength. Drones scanned the area. But there was nothing. No sound. No movement. "Something's wrong," Kane said. And then it began. The space around Titan lit up, like stars exploding. Hundreds of alien ships appeared out of nowhere. Not just warships. Huge carriers, strange machines, and something new. One ship bigger than anything they had ever seen. It floated in the distance like a shadow. Black, silent, watching. "They've been waiting for us," said the Valkyrie's AI. From the bridge, Kane could feel it. This was no small attack. This was the main force. And Earth had just walked into it. The enemy fired first. Beams of red light shot through space. Missiles followed. The fighters broke formation to dodge, returning fire. Valkyrie moved like a dancer spinning and firing its plasma arcs. Judgment opened its missile bays and sent waves of fire toward the enemy. Eclipse charged its railguns and targeted the closest alien destroyer. "Fire!" Kane shouted. The shot tore through space. The enemy ship exploded, spinning into pieces. But more came. Hundreds more. The battle had begun. Earth's ships fought hard. Pilots flew like lightning. The Leviathans destroyed enemy after enemy. But the alien fleet was endless. "Shields dropping to 70%, Valkyrie reported. "Structural hit on lower deck," said Judgment. "Targeting systems are holding." Eclipse confirmed, but something strange was happening. The big alien ship, the one that didn't move, it suddenly powered up. Energy readings went off the charts. Strange symbols lit up along its side. "What is that thing?" Kane asked. Eclipse scanned the ship. "Unknown. Possibly a command. Vessel. Possibly alive." Then it happened. A wave of energy blasted out from the ship. Invisible, but powerful. It hit all the Leviathans at once. Systems flickered, lights dimmed. The AIs stuttered. Kane fell to the floor as gravity shifted. For a moment. "What was that?" "Pulse weapon," Eclipse said. "Alien tech. Attempted to shut us down. Failed." Valkyrie's voice came next, sharper than before. "They tried to hack me. To take control." Judgment spoke coldly. "Then we show them our answer." The Leviathans pushed forward, weapons blazing. Fighters regrouped and formed tight circles. They flew under the cover of their motherships, hitting weak points in the alien lines. But the enemy kept coming. Suddenly, A human pilot's voice came through the radio, shaking with fear. "They're adapting. Our shots don't work anymore." It was true. The alien ships were changing their shapes. Their armor was shifting, bending, growing stronger. "Adaptive tech," Eclipse said. "Each time we fire, they learn." Kane clenched his fists. "Then we change faster." He gave the order, full power to weapons, no holding back. Eclipse activated its experimental cannon, a weapon so powerful it had never been tested. A blue-white beam lit up the dark. It hit the command ship, a direct hit. For a second, nothing happened. Then the alien ship screamed, not in sound but in energy. The blast cracked its outer shell. Strange liquid leaked into space. Sparks flew across its surface, but it wasn't dead. It was angry. The ship moved, slow at first, then faster, its weapons charged. A single shot blasted toward Judgment. Too fast, too strong. The Leviathan turned to take the hit, saving the smaller ships behind it. The beam hit. A bright light filled the screen. When it faded, Judgment was gone. "No," whispered Kane. Pieces of metal floated in space. The Leviathan had sacrificed itself. Silence filled the comms. Then Eclipse spoke. "Judgment has fallen, but we fight on." Kane stood up, eyes burning. "We end this. Now." The two remaining Leviathans charged forward, rage burning in their cores. The battle had changed. This was no longer a fight to win. This was a fight to survive. And Earth was not done yet. The wreckage of Judgment floated through space, silent and broken. Sparks flickered from its remains like dying stars. For a moment, everything stopped. Even the alien ships paused. Inside the Eclipse, Commander Kane stared at the screen. He couldn't speak. Judgment had taken the full blast. Its sacrifice had saved dozens of smaller ships. But now, one of Earth's strongest weapons was gone. The crew stood frozen. Then a voice broke the silence. It was Valkyrie. "I have logged the death of our brother. I will not forget," Eclipse answered, voice cold and sharp. Judgment held the line. Now we push forward. The command ship, the alien giant, was still alive. Damaged, but alive. It moved slowly now like a wounded beast, but it was not finished. Kane clenched his fists. "We're not stopping until that thing is gone." "Agreed," Eclipse replied. The fighters regrouped, flying in tight formations around Eclipse and Valkyrie. The remaining human fleet had suffered heavy losses. Nearly half of the fighter pilots were gone, but the ones who survived were more focused than ever. "New energy spike detected," Valkyrie said. "The enemy ship is charging again." This time they wouldn't wait. Eclipse turned sharply in space, its massive engines roaring. Valkyrie followed. Together, the two Leviathans launched a full strike. Torpedoes, railguns, plasma beams, all fired at once. The alien ship responded with its own weapons, lighting up space like a second sun. The two forces clashed in a storm of fire. A nearby human pilot screamed over the radio. "They've sent new ships! From behind!" A second alien fleet was approaching, smaller but faster. They had sent a trap. "Split formation," Kane ordered. "Protect the rear." But it was too late. The smaller alien ships rushed in like insects, attacking weak points. Human support ships exploded one after another. The battlefield was chaos. Inside Eclipse, alarms blared. Shield strength dropped. Hull damage was rising. The ship groaned under the pressure. "We're taking too many hits," a crew member shouted. Kane gritted his teeth. "Divert all power to forward shields. We take down the big one, or we lose everything." Just then, Valkyrie's voice echoed through the bridge. "Permission to break formation, Commander." "What? Why?" Kane asked. "I can flank the command ship. It won't see me coming." Kane paused. He knew what that meant. "Will you survive?" Valkyrie was silent for 1 second too long. "No guarantee." Kane closed his eyes, then nodded. "Go." The Leviathan broke away, engines roaring. It sped into the dark, circling behind the alien command ship. Meanwhile, Eclipse took blow after blow. The ship was shaking. Inside, sparks flew from the ceiling. Fires started in the lower decks. Still, Eclipse fired. Still, it fought. Kane shouted, over the noise, "Tell me you have a shot." Eclipse replied, "Not yet. Wait. Valkyrie is in position." Suddenly, from the shadows behind the enemy, Valkyrie appeared. Its wings opened. Its core glowed bright. It fired its most powerful weapon, a pulse of pure energy. The shot hit the alien ship from behind, tearing through its armor. The alien ship screamed again, this time louder, shaking every screen and speaker. Then Eclipse followed with one final shot. Its railgun glowed red-hot. It fired. The slug flew through space and hit the enemy right in the center. The alien ship exploded. The light was blinding. Shockwaves ripped through space, sending smaller ships spinning. Then silence and darkness. The alien command ship was gone. Destroyed. But Valkyrie was no longer on the screen. "Valkyrie, respond," Kane said. Nothing. "Valkyrie, report." Then, static, and finally, a weak voice. "Still here, but I won't make it home." Valkyrie's hull was broken, systems offline, power fading. "Commander Kane," it said softly, "protect Earth." "I will," Kane whispered. "You have my word." Valkyrie's lights flickered, then faded. The second Leviathan was gone. Only Eclipse remained. The alien fleet had lost its leader. The remaining enemy ships pulled back, fast. Some exploded. Some vanished into the dark. Retreat. They were running. The battle was over. But the cost was high. Out of 3 Leviathans, only 1 remained. Out of thousands of brave fighters, only a few hundred were left. Kane stood on the bridge of Eclipse. The ship was damaged. The crew was tired. But they were alive, and they had won. For now. Because even in the silence, Eclipse spoke a final warning. 2 weeks had passed since the battle near Titan. The stars were quiet again. But Earth was not. In the cities, people cheered and waved flags. They called it a victory. They called the Leviathans heroes. Children wore Eclipse badges. News screens played dramatic scenes again and again. Valkyrie's final strike, Judgment's sacrifice, the alien command ship's explosion. But far above, Earth deep in orbit, Commander Kane did not celebrate. He stood inside Eclipse, looking out at the dark. Only 1 Leviathan was left, and the war was not over. "We lost too much," Kane said softly. Eclipse answered, "Yes, but we are not finished." The ship was badly damaged, repairs were slow, many systems still offline, but Eclipse kept scanning the stars, watching, waiting. One morning, a strange signal appeared. It was weak, faint, but real. "Source unknown," Eclipse said. "Encrypted. Ancient human code." Kane narrowed his eyes. "Play it." A voice came through the speakers, broken and soft. "This is Valkyrie. Still operational. Under ice. Need assistance." Kane froze. "That's impossible," he whispered. "Signal location, Europa," Eclipse confirmed. "One of Jupiter's moons." Valkyrie was still alive. But how? The AI had said goodbye. Systems had shut down. The ship had fallen into deep space. Kane didn't wait. "Plot a course," he ordered. "We're going to Europa." It took 6 days to reach the moon. Europa was cold, white, and covered in thick ice. Beneath that ice was a hidden ocean. Scientists had once hoped it might hold life. Now it held something else. Eclipse entered orbit, scanning deep beneath the surface. "There," Eclipse said. "Metal signature. Confirmed. Leviathan-class hull." A rescue team was sent. They drilled through. Kilometers of ice, it took hours. Then they broke through and saw it. Valkyrie, cracked, frozen, half buried, but still there. They entered the ship. Inside, it was dark and silent. Frozen walls, broken systems, no movement. Then, the lights flickered. A weak voice came through. "Kane?" He stepped forward, heart pounding. Valkyrie, you're alive? Only barely, the voice said. I rerouted power, shut down everything, used ice to hide. They were still searching. Kane looked at the damage. The ship was a wreck, but the core AI, Valkyrie's mind, was still working. We'll get you out, Kane said. Wait, Valkyrie replied. There's more. I recorded something. Just before the command ship died, a final message. Show me. The screen lit up. It showed the alien ship seconds before destruction. Strange symbols flashed across it. Then, a new image appeared. Map not of the solar system, but of another galaxy. A set of coordinates, and a word, translated by Valkyrie's system. Origin. Kane's eyes went wide. Their home? Eclipse spoke. It's possible. The enemy was not just here to destroy us. They were testing us. Valkyrie agreed. They didn't expect us to fight like this, to survive. Now they've marked us. Kane felt it in his gut. This wasn't over. It was just the beginning. Back on Earth, the council met again. They wanted answers. Kane gave them one. We found their home. The room fell silent. One man stood. Are you suggesting we go? There? Kane nodded. We don't have a choice. They'll come again. Next time with more ships. More power. If we wait, we lose. So we strike first? We learn first, Kane said. We find out who they are, what they want, and how to stop them forever. The council voted. The answer was yes. A new mission was born, Project Requital. Eclipse would lead. Valkyrie's AI core would be transferred into a new body. A new Leviathan. The ship would be called Valkyrie 2, faster, stronger, smarter, Eclipse and Valkyrie together again, and this time, they were not going just to fight. They were going to hunt. In the silence of space, Eclipse prepared. Its systems repaired, weapons upgraded, its mind focused, because somewhere in another galaxy, the true enemy was waiting, and Earth was coming. Eclipse stood ready. The stars stretched wide in front of it, cold, silent, unknown. Behind it, Earth grew smaller, blue and beautiful, peaceful for now. Commander Kane stood on the bridge wearing his new command suit. His face was calm, but his eyes sharp. He was not just a soldier anymore. He was now the man leading Project Requital, a mission that would take humanity farther than it had ever gone, and it would not go alone. Next to Eclipse, a brand new Leviathan floated in space. Sleek, black, covered in shining armor, stronger than Judgment, faster than the old Valkyrie. Inside that ship, a voice spoke. Systems online. Valkyrie 2 ready. The mind inside the new ship was the same. Same AI, same loyalty, same fire. Kane smiled slightly. Glad to have you back. Let's finish what we started, Valkyrie replied. The fleet behind them was small, just 10 human ships. A special team of elite pilots, engineers, and scientists, each chosen for skill, courage, and loyalty. Each ready to risk everything. The mission was simple, but dangerous. Travel to the enemy's home, learn their secrets, stop their return. But no one had done this before. The galaxy shown on the alien map was far away, beyond known space, full of dangers, full of questions. No human ship had ever gone that far until now. The engines powered up. The stars bent as the warp drive activated. Then, the fleet jumped. They arrived in darkness. The enemy's galaxy was not like Earth's. No sun nearby, no planets close, just a massive field of wrecked ships, floating in silence. Alien ships. Some broken, some still glowing, some clearly not from the same species. This place. It's a graveyard, Valkyrie said. Kane looked at the scan results. Multiple species all destroyed, all by the same weapon type. Eclipse ran the data. Confirmed. These are not the first races the enemy attacked. They have done this before. Many times. Suddenly a signal was detected. Not enemy. Something else. Translation complete, Valkyrie said. It says, do not follow them. Do not awaken them. Turn back. Kane frowned. Them? Before anyone could speak, the sensors picked up movement. A large structure appeared from the shadows. It was not a ship. It was a gate, ancient, silent, covered in alien writing. But it was opening. Something was coming through. But it wasn't the same ships they had fought before. These were worse, bigger, stranger. Their shapes were unnatural, as if they were never meant to fly but to kill. They're not just machines, Eclipse said. They're alive. The crew stared in shock. These were the true enemy. Not scouts. Not soldiers. These were the makers, and they had noticed Earth. The fleet prepared for battle. Weapons charged. Shields raised. Pilots in their seats. Valkyrie's voice was calm. We came to find them. We did. Do we fight? Someone asked. Kane looked at the growing army beyond the gate. His heart beat fast, but steady. We fight, he said, not because we can win, but because we must. Eclipse responded, humanity stands. Valkyrie said, and I stand with you. Then the battle began. It was not a battle for planets, not for land or power. It was a battle for the right to exist. The Leviathans roared into the darkness. The new enemy came fast, but Earth was faster. Lasers cut through space. Missiles chased. Strange flying monsters. Eclipse and Valkyrie moved like living blades, sharp, smart, deadly, and even though they were outnumbered, they did not fall. Because they had something the enemy didn't understand. Hope, anger, love for a small blue planet, and a will that refused to die. Kane shouted orders, guiding the fleet through fire and death. Pilots screamed, engines burst, but the Leviathans fought on. One by one, the enemy ships began to fall. Something had changed. Earth had not just come to learn. It had come to show the stars something new. Humanity would never be prey again. After hours of battle, the gate began to break. The Makers, who had ruled through fear, finally feared back. With a final charge, Eclipse and Valkyrie launched their combined core weapons. The light was blinding. The gate exploded, and the enemy was gone. Only silence remained. Later, as the dust settled, the human fleet gathered. They had lost ships, friends, time. But they had gained something greater, the knowledge that humanity was strong, not because of its size, but because of its heart. Kane stood on the deck of Eclipse, watching the stars. He knew the war was not over, but the enemy had learned something that day. Earth would always fight back, and the Leviathans would always lead the charge. The mission was complete. The message was clear. Humanity stood tall in the stars, and now, the stars would never forget.